everyone, it's Jules. I want to do something a little bit different today. I want to talk about some of the books I've been reading. Some I've enjoyed. Only one I think I have not enjoyed and I didn't finish it. But this is basically wrapping up October and November of 2021. I'm going to put my glasses on because I can't see, so I'm sorry if there's reflections. So the first one I want to talk about is Where the Deer and the Antelope Play by Nick Offerman, the pastoral observations of one ignorant American who loves to walk outside. I really loved it. I love Nick Offerman. I haven't watched Parks and Rec. I've watched clips of just his parts in it, like on YouTube, because I just think he's hilarious. So I really enjoyed it. So it talks about him going to like Glacier National Park. It talks about him going to, I think it was a sheep farm in England. And then it also talks about him and his wife going on, once the pandemic hit, going on a camping type journey to try and get back to see family in, I think it's Oklahoma and Illinois. So I thought it was really good. There is some political stuff, you know, more on the liberal side. So if you're not into hearing about that, then probably don't read it. So the next book I want to talk about is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And I gave this 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I absolutely loved it. It's about Evelyn, I'm reading from, I take book notes because I always forget everything. It's about Evelyn. She's old Hollywood and she's been somewhat in hiding for a bit. And she calls upon Monique Grant to do a story about her in Vivant magazine. Monique soon learns that Evelyn doesn't want to do the magazine article, but wants Monique to write her biography. So it's about their conversations and Evelyn going back and talking about her 7 husbands. And there's a lot actually going on revolving Monique as well and Evelyn. So can't really say too much. And it made me cry. At the end I was sobbing. So I really loved that one. Next one is The Storyteller by Dave Grohl. It's Tales of Life and Music. And Dave Grohl, if you do not know, he's the lead singer and founder of Foo Fighters and was the drummer in Nirvana for a bit. So I really did enjoy it. It doesn't go linear time-wise. It kind of bounces around a little bit. Doesn't talk too much about Nirvana, which I kind of wanted to hear more about. But that was a long time ago. So that was 30 years ago. I'm surprised the things people remember for these autobiographies. Unless I write it down, I don't remember stuff. I really enjoyed it and love Dave Grohl. He just has such a great personality. He has on their Foo Fighters channel on YouTube, they are doing the 8 Nights of Hanukkah, something where they're doing like a little music video, and yesterday's was at the Copacabana by, who was that by? Barry Manilow? Anyway, it's hilarious. So the next one is Later by Stephen King. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It's one of the short, hard case Stephen King books, but I just couldn't get into it. It's really quick read too and easy, but and it's basically, I don't know if I want to even say because it kind of gives it away. I didn't know it going in. I think it's best sometimes to go into a book not knowing what's going to happen or what's in the without reading the flap, without reading about the book. So we'll see with that. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I might reduce that to 3 out of 5. I enjoyed it. We're getting into books in November that I read, and I have one I did not finish and I won't finish it. I hated it, and that is this book, In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead. No, and I don't know how it's getting such rave reviews on BookTube, but it almost read like young adult to me, and I love a lot of young adult. The cliffhangers at the end of the chapters, I'm like, ooh, boy, that's a real cliffhanger. I don't know, it's just, I hate to be snotty, but I did not enjoy it. I did not finish it. I probably read about half of it. I kind of figured out where it was going. I'm not sure if that's where it went, but I didn't want to waste any more of my time reading it. But I hear a lot of people love it, so who knows. maybe, I think sometimes when you read a book, you might be in not the right mindset for it, but I definitely did not enjoy it. So the next one I have is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I gave it 3 out of 5. It's a young adult book. It's kind of like Knives Out in a way. It's about this girl who inherits a bunch of money from a billionaire. He dies, and it's odd that he hasn't given it to his family, and she does not know him. So, but the thing is, she has to live in the house for a year in order to inherit the money, and so does the family live there. So it's about that, and it was enjoyable, kind of a quick read. I don't think I'll continue this series. I'm realizing this about my reading habits, as I don't like series. I like the one and done type books, but this one was okay, 3 out of 5. The next one is Emergency Skin by N.K. Jemisin, and this is part of a collection on YouTube. I think there's 6 or 7 short stories in there, so you could either get the whole set for, you know, a credit, or I think it's only like $12, or you can individually buy them for like $1, so $1 something. And if I don't have the physical book, that most often means that I either listen to it on Audible or on, I just got the app Libro, so one of those, but most often Audible, 'cause I just like the platform. I know it's Amazon and there's some hate there, but anyway, I enjoyed it. It was only an hour, so I definitely want to listen to it again, because I really enjoyed it. So it's an hour, so it's definitely, I drive an hour to work one way, so I definitely want to try it again. But I think I gave it, 4 out of 5 stars. Another one on Audible that I did is True Crime Addict: How I Lost Myself in the Mysterious Disappearance of Maura Murray by James Renner. I enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I knew quite a bit about the case. Not obviously, I knew about the case, not as much as what you learn in this book. So it's an interesting case. She's been missing for a long time. It has been missing. Maura Murray's been missing for a long time. I think in 2004. So, and it goes back about James Renner on how he got into true crime writing and journalism, and I've always been a little fascinated with true crime, so I enjoyed it. It was worth listening to. How long is it? It's 6 hours, 44 minutes, so it's pretty quick. So I gave that 4 out of 5 stars. And then currently what I'm reading, I haven't finished yet, is The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. I don't typically read romance, but I heard some great things about this, and I thought maybe, what was I reading? I'm like, maybe I do like some romance. I can't remember what it was, but it's okay. I don't know. I'm probably going to end up giving it 3 out of 5. I'm having a hard time actually getting through it. Like, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's the whole, like, him treating her poorly. I don't like that. So The Hating Game, I'm like, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And then for my book club this month, what we are reading is, and I have not finished it yet, is The Sentence by Louise Erdrich. And so far, I'm about over a third done. And so far, I'm loving it. It takes place in Minneapolis, which is where I'm from, or I'm from a suburb, and the author is from here. She has a bookstore in Minneapolis. So it takes place in her bookstore, but it's fiction. And it's about the employees of the bookstore, and the main character, Tookie, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. She starts seeing one of their customers that had passed away as a ghost. So that, you learn that pretty quickly in the book, so I'm not really giving anything away, but I've heard, so far I'm about, over a third of the way into it, and we have not hit the pandemic yet, because I heard it takes place from November 2019 to November 2020, so it will go through the pandemic and the George Floyd stuff. So I have not gotten into that, because some people are saying they didn't enjoy it because it's too soon to have a novel about it. I haven't gotten into that part. I like hearing, you always love reading books that take place where you live, because you hear, of places and things. Like, there's a whole funny situation where they're talking about wild rice, and like they're kind of, they're indigenous characters, and so they like have this whole conversation, discussion, even arguments about wild rice, because wild rice grows in Minnesota. So that's a pretty funny thing. There's a lot of humor in it. I was not expecting that. So, but anyway, so I am enjoying that one. So anyway, so that's what I've been reading currently, and if you have any suggestions, let me know. I know this is a different video for me to do, but I love hearing what other people are reading and why they did or didn't like a book. I think the reason I wanted to do this was to talk about this book that everybody loves and I don't. So, I don't know, I hated the main character. Like, I just did not like her. She was annoying, whiny, and yeah. Anyway, alright, thanks for watching. Have a great day.